America's most evil serial killer, Ted Bundy. For whatever strange and eccentric reason, American people are obsessed with serial killers. Their interest in good-looking antagonists becomes unstoppable. Therefore, it makes sense that they are also into charismatic serial killers, which maybe justifies our fascination with Ted Bundy, a handsome young man whose name became renowned after his confession about killing 30 girls and women in the 1970s. Perhaps we're giving these different murderers the attention they wanted, or simply romanticizing their passion and ambition in life. But whatever reasons we have, we just can't turn away. Before we go any further, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash that like button for more quality videos you can't certainly get from others. We compile videos and do the research just for you. Without turning this into a movie, here is the story of America's most evil serial killer, also known as Ted Bundy. Throughout the summer and spring of 1974, cops in the Northwest were in a total chaos. Ladies at colleges across Oregon and Washington were suddenly fleeing, and law enforcement had some suspects as to who was behind this civil unrest. Within 6 months, 6 women had been seized by an unknown man and carried off to an unfamiliar place. Commotion in the area skyrocketed after the disappearance of Denise Marie and Janice Ann Ott in good daytime from a beach filled with many people at Lake Sammamish State Park. But the most shocking part about the abductions was that the man was seen by some people. On the day the 2 victims were carried away, several other women recalled being chased by a young man who had tried and failed to take them to his Volkswagen Beetle. His arm was in a sling, but he didn't let that destroy his mission. After the dissemination of his description to the public, the cops were approached by 4 individuals who identified him immediately: Ted Bundy. However, the cops were flooded with tips and Ted got cancelled as a main suspect. Observing it unusual that a decent law student without any criminal record could fulfill such actions. He didn't fit the profile. At the time, he fooled everybody. The police who didn't further investigate him, the prison guards whose facilities he escaped from, the woman he married after his imprisonment, the girl he gaslighted, but he was not other than what his lawyer said, the very definition of heartless evil. As Ted himself once uttered, "I'm the most cold-hearted son of a bitch you'll ever meet." His first attack. In the year of 1965, Ted completed his high school and then later entered University of Puget Sound. After 1 year, he transferred to the University of Washington in pursuit of studying the Chinese language. In 1968, he decided to drop out but immediately re-enrolled as a psychology student. During his vacation, he used to visit the East Coast, where he certainly first discovered that her sister, as he believed, was actually his biological mother. He started dating Elizabeth Klopfer, who was among the first to report Ted to cops as a lead to what happened at Lake Sammamish State Park. Also, one of the 4 people who gave Ted's description was Ann Rule, a cop who have known him when they were both call center agents at Seattle's Suicide Hotline Crisis Center. Yes, Ted was once helping those who were mentally ill virtually. In 1973, he took law at the University of Puget Sound Law School, but it didn't last after a few months as he stopped going to school. As the years ended, the disappearances started. Ted Bundy's earliest known attack was not actually considered a murder, but an assault on an 18-year-old Karen Sparks, who was a student as well as a dancer at the University of Washington. Ted broke into her apartment and delivered a blow in a tough, vigorous manner with the use of a metal rod taken from her bed, before sexually assaulting her with the same thing. As a result, he left Karen in a 10-day coma and with ceaseless ailments. First killings across Seattle. His next victim was Linda Ann Healy. He certainly confirmed that he was his first murder. After he performed assault on Karen, he intruded into Healy's apartment, took her consciousness, and brought her to his car. She was never found again, but years after, her skull was seen at one of the spots where he usually left bodies. After that incident, his major mission, which was seizing female students in the area, continued. His main technique was acting as if he was disabled and approaching women for help and putting something in his Volkswagen Beetle. He would then strike them to the extent that they would not be unconscious before raping, taking away their lives and leaving their bodies in the woods. On a daily basis, He would revisit these spots to molest, abuse, and have sex with their rotting, lifeless bodies. Sometimes, he would behead his victims and take their heads in his cozy apartment, resting with his trophies. After the next 5 months, Ted kidnapped and killed female college students in the Pacific Northwest. Susan Elaine Rancourt, Jorgen Hawkins, Donna Gail Manson, Roberta Kathleen Parks, and Brenda Carol Ball. As a response to these sudden disappearances, cops called the attention of different government agencies and performed in-depth investigation to help look for the missing girls. Arrest for kidnapping. As the search for the murderer continued, the number of witnesses who conveyed the description of Ted Bundy and his scar increased. Just as some of the women he killed were being found, Ted proceeded to law school in Utah and took residency at Salt Lake City. While living there, his mission never stopped as he continued to molest, rape, and murder young women, involving 4 teenage girls and a hitchhiker in Utah. Washington investigators gathered some data in connection with the leading suspects, and Ted Bundy's name was at the top list. Oblivious of the fact that the interest of law enforcement was shockingly growing, he continued killing, venturing to Colorado from his home in Utah to do more killing. In August 1975, while he was driving his way at a Salt Lake City suburb, he was pulled over and checked by cops. They saw handcuffs, masks, and sharp objects in his Volkswagen Beetle. Although these things were not enough to arrest him, one of the cops, knowing that Ted was also a suspect in the earlier murders, put him under investigation. Later, he was found guilty and sent to prison while cops attempted to make a murder case against him. However, imprisonment didn't stop him from murdering. He was later able to, for the first 2 in his life, outwit the custody. By 1997, he escaped from the law library. He was there because he was standing as his own lawyer. Have you forgotten? He attended law school. He took the chance by jumping from the library's 2nd floor window, running directly into the woods to hide himself. In the deep woods of Aspen Mountain, Ted found an abandoned cabin and stayed there only on a short period of time as his eagerness to find some foods disrupted. So, he left the place and stole a car down the road. Unfortunately, he was spotted by police officers. After 6 days, he was caught again. In his cell, he keenly familiarized and studied about the place and soon discovered that his cell was beneath the living quarters. In the end, he got a small hacksaw, which had been traded with another inmate. While his cellmates were having their own time, he worked away at the ceiling, taking away layers of plasters. He succeeded. This time, he stole a car and headed to Florida. 2 weeks after his escape, Ted intruded in a Chi Omega sorority house to have some fun. In just 15 minutes, he molested and killed Lisa Levy and Margaret Bauman, smashing them with firewood and choking them stockings. He then raped Karen Chandler and Kathy Cleaner, leaving them disfigured jaws and missing teeth. Once again, his reckless driving caught the vision of the cops due to the fact that they realized that his plate number was certainly related to a missing car. So they stopped him and discovered the identification cards of 3 dead women. "I wish you had killed me," Ted said to the officer. Trial and execution. Ted was fairly convicted and placed on death row at Florida's Rayford prison, where he was abused by other prisoners by gang raping him. He finally faced his final day on January 24, 1989, with the use of electric chair. Many people gathered outside the courthouse to proclaim the glory of his death. So, how does this one get you? Pretty gruesome and vile, isn't it? Share your thoughts down below. If you're an abundant true serial crime fan, stay tuned as the next video is starting.